Hello, this is Maggie. Today I'm looking at a chart of my favorite artist, Vincent Van Gogh. I've got his teacup here, and I've got his painting right there. So anyway, he was an Aries, ruled by Mars, born in the first decadent of Aries. There are 3 decadents. I'm Aries, born in the second decadent, which is like April 3rd. So the Aries born in the first decadent, which is like the later part of March. I believe Mariah Carey was born in the first as well. They seem to have a lot more ambition in getting things done, appears to me. So he's a March, like March 30th, 1853, born at 10 a.m. in the Netherlands, 1853. He has the sun in Aries, the moon in Sagittarius, and the ascendant in Cancer. He has a lot of planets on his midheaven. A lot of planets in his midheaven. So we'll probably start there. And his oppositions, I'll get to that later. We'll start with his sun in Aries in the 10th house of career. So he has Venus in Pisces, Mars in Pisces, and Neptune in Pisces. Venus and Mars are in Pisces, but they're still in the 10th house. It's an intercepted sign with Aries and Pisces. So he was driven with all that Mars energy, and Venus gave him the love of art and beauty and culture. And the sun in Aries gave him initiative, and Mars is the ruler of Aries. So to have that in the 10th house really helped his career. He was conflicted about his career, however. He wanted to be a preacher, I think. So he has his moon in Sagittarius is in the 6th house of work. And he also has Jupiter there, which is very, very beneficial. And he was extremely emotional with all this water he has in Pisces, and the moon. The moon in the work house expanded by Jupiter, and Cancer, a water sign on the ascendant. Which, yeah, anyway, so the Jupiter, the planet of good luck, good fortune, expansion, elevated his emotions, I believe. So, and the opposition towards his sun, they're like at opposite ends. Well, it's the 6th from the 10th house. He has the opposition from the moon to Venus, and it looks like to Mars. So he was conflicted. He was very religious and wanted to be a preacher or a minister. So he prayed a lot, but he also wanted to be an artist. So he tried both, I believe, and I think posthumously he was famous. His brother marketed his work. But the opposition between moon and Venus and the sun really shows the conflict he had between his career, 10th house being career, 6th house being work. So it's like, which way should I go? So he went both directions. He has the 11th house. It's up on the midheaven as well. Taurus. Venus rules Taurus, which rules art and beauty, and he's my favorite post-impressionist artist. He's just amazing. He has Saturn there, which made him incredibly hard worker, obsessed. Well, Pluto gave him the obsession. I mean, he would go out at night and paint with a light on his head, and just, I think it drove him mad. So he has Pluto, Uranus, and Saturn all in the 11th house in Taurus. So he was driven to do a Venusian thing, like art. And he brought so much beauty and passion to the world. I love his brushstrokes and his bold, Aries way of painting. Yes, and so Neptune he has in, let's see, Neptune, well, Neptune's in Pisces. Ninth house. Ninth house is Jupiter. The ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius, and Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So he has Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, in the sign of Sagittarius, which is the sixth house of work. So he really did want to be like a preacher or theologian. He was really conflicted about that. But at the same time, he wanted to be an artist. So, Jupiter being the ruler of Sagittarius, he did a lot of travel. He moved to Paris, and, just kind of went back and forth for a while. Neptune and Pisces natally, well, that would be very good for art as well. Neptune is co-ruler of Pisces along with Jupiter, and so he has it in the ninth house of values of Sagittarius. So he had very spiritual man, and it showed in his art, and just a very, very strong spirituality. And that's from Neptune in Pisces and Jupiter and the moon in Sagittarius. And Venus in Pisces is Venus is actually exalted in Pisces. I have Venus in Pisces, and it makes you extremely sensitive. The best use of it is in service to others, so he was probably feeling that. And they are really much drawn to music and the arts. And so he definitely went to excess in everything he did. He suffered from mental illness, that's a well-known fact. So I was just looking for that in his chart as well. You can't always pinpoint that. I wasn't really looking for it, but there are, he has two quincunxes to Uranus, and they were from Uranus quincunx Jupiter and Uranus quincunx the moon. So I believe that means that it's like hidden from him. It's like, I think it's 180 degrees or something. I need to brush up. I'm going to brush up on that before I start talking about quincunxes. But yeah, so with Uranus, that Uranus and Pluto and Saturn in the 11th house of friendships. He was such an intense painter and person. He cut off his ear. And he did some of his best paintings. Towards the end of his life, he ended up killing himself, unfortunately. So I will post his chart. Everything is definitely up in the midheaven in Aries, and I'm glad he had such a strong initiative and passion. And with Saturn, he was just steadfastly spent his lifetime learning and painting, and learned from the masters and became actually. But being in Aries, with all this in Aries, he was extremely creative and original, and he wanted to do his own stuff, which I am so glad he did, because his work is awesome. It's awesome. I have his cafe scene up there, and here's my little Starry Night teacup. Okay, so let me look at his elements. Again, his chart, everything's up in the midheaven. The main things I was looking at were those oppositions, the conflicts between his career and like theology versus artist. And sometimes he felt like a failure, but all this water he had so much support from his brother, thankfully. And he spent some time in mental asylums. So that could be Neptune in Pisces. Could also be Venus in Pisces. That sometimes rules institutions, jails, hospitals. So with all the water, I'll start with the cardinal fire. He has the sun in Aries, Mercury in Aries, which is communication. So he was driven to communicate about his career in some form. The form, turned out to be Venus ruling Taurus and Venusian art. Let's see. And he has the moon and Jupiter, mutable Sagittarius, in opposition to his. They're both fire signs, so he's extremely dynamic and passionate, fiery, and he probably had a little hot temper. He had a little bit of red hair, Aries trait sometimes. Looked like an Aries. So, opposition, sometimes they help. They helped you to work harder and forge ahead and overcome obstacles. He has a lot of sextiles to Mercury from the moon and to Pluto. But anyway, so in air, the only air he has is the North Node in Gemini, which is in the 12th house, the hidden house of Pisces. That's Pisces' natural house sign. But he has it in Gemini. And it's in Gemini. It's intercepted by Cancer on the sign. But so he was driven to communicate. But it wasn't always shown. I mean, a lot of his art wasn't shown until posthumously, So I don't think he realized it while he was living, but he communicated on just such a massive level through his art. It still speaks to everyone and will forever. And 12th house also rules art, art and beauty, because it's Pisces house. So he communicated by painting, and he tried preaching for a while, because of his deep, deep spiritual beliefs. But it shows in his painting. It's so vibrant. So, so that's the only one in air, the North Node in Gemini. The Earth sign, thankfully he has a lot, because being in Aries is not easy. It makes one very impulsive and kind of scattered, going from task to task to task. We love starting things, but finishing them is not, it's just kind of tedious, Start it, let someone else finish it, or go on to something new. But he has so much earth that really steadies him to complete just these masterpiece paintings. He has Chiron, the asteroid in Earth. He has Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto in Earth. in Taurus. In Taurus, so that Saturn really grounded him, made him an extremely hard worker, just diligently climbed the ladder. Uranus made him extremely unpredictable and changeable. And Pluto made him compulsive, obsessive. So his friendships, that's the 11th house of Aquarius. So these friendships were probably pretty intense, and he did love to drink a lot. Just have a good time. He loved women, I mean, he really tried with several women. But most of the time he wasn't that stable. I don't need to give the life history of Van Gogh. Back to his elements. So the earth really grounds that Aries energy. And look at what he accomplished in life. Oh my gosh. Had he only known. Oh, the water is the ascendant in Cancer, making him extremely, extremely sensitive. That's yourself. And he has a lot of water. He has Venus, Mars, Neptune, and the MC in water. So the MC is the midheaven. So and that's just extreme, extreme emotion, sensitivity, intuition. I think he was very, very intuitive and perceptive. Yeah, so that's probably enough for today. I just really admire this artist, my absolute favorite. So thank you for listening. Okay, bye.